Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. I'm really thrilled you're joining us today because we are jumping right into Chapter 3 of our source material. And wow, does it offer a profound look at who we actually are. Today we're going to uncover exactly how giant, ancient monuments on one hand and small, intimate family meals on the other actually connect to build a completely unified nation. It's all about how the macro and the micro work together to shape our identity. So think about it for a second. What actually makes up the unique identity of a nation? Is it just, physical borders drawn on a map, or is it something much deeper, much older? Today, we're going on a grand exploration of Sri Lankan identity, looking at those invisible threads that tie millions of individuals together into one cohesive, vibrant society. Okay, let's dive right into this, starting with Section 1, our shared cultural heritages. When we talk about cultural heritage, we're really looking at the big stuff, the artistic creations, the traditions, and the grand monuments that express a culture's true grandeur. Think about the incredibly advanced ancient irrigation tanks in Anuradhapura and Polonnaruwa. I mean, these are absolute marvels of ancient engineering that still inspire awe today. But the most important takeaway here is that heritage isn't just some dusty history sitting in a textbook. Not at all. It's a living, breathing, shared point of pride that gives us our cultural identity right now. And honestly, it's our duty to pass it on to future generations. And this brilliantly illustrates how incredibly diverse Sri Lanka's cultural landscape really is. Just look at the magnificent Madhu Church, or the stunning Davatagaha Masjid. Catholics and Muslims have heavily contributed to these breathtaking architectural creations. And they aren't just buildings, right? They are foundational pillars of the national identity that every single one of us shares. And of course, Buddhists and Hindus have beautifully contributed to these creations as well, which just proves that multiple faiths absolutely do not divide a nation's heritage. Take the spectacular Jafla Nallur Kovil, for instance. Whether you're marveling at a massive stupa like the Ruwanwalasaya or a vibrant Hindi Kovil, they're building our shared heritage side by side, expanding its grandeur and just making the whole cultural landscape richer for everyone. All right, moving to Section 2, passing down family traditions. Because to truly grasp how these towering monuments retain their meaning, we actually have to zoom all the way in. We have to move from that macro level of grand places of worship right down into the micro level, the family home. See, the absolute main function of the family unit is acting as a conduit to pass down culture. We're not just talking about passing down genetics or wealth here. It's about passing down specific, lived traditions. Things like the customs of dealing with the well, the highly auspicious practice of boiling milk, simply enjoying food together, or the traditional anointing of oil. These everyday actions, they are literally the building blocks of that massive cultural identity we were just talking about. Take the anointing oil tradition, for example. It really makes you think. What inherited traits or specific daily customs did you receive from your own family? Because these are the exact moments where culture is actually transmitted. It's this quiet, intimate transfer of identity from the elders directly to the youth, making sure the culture stays alive and vibrant. Now, what's really interesting about this is how even something incredibly ordinary, like a family just sitting down and enjoying food together, serves a massive cultural function. These simple, repetitive acts ground those big, abstract cultural concepts into warm human experiences. When a family gathers around the table, they aren't just eating a meal. They're actively reinforcing the bonds, the manners, and the communal values that ultimately reflect the wider nation. Which brings us to our final section, building true national harmony. Because we really have to ask the ultimate so what here. Right, so we have the grand monuments and we have the quiet family dinners. Why do these two extremes matter to the nation as a whole? Well, the crucial point from our source material is that a society essentially faces two paths. On one hand, you have the hostile path. This is fueled by ignoring or attacking heritage, and it leads straight to suspicion, hatred, and jealousy. Nobody wants that. But on the other hand, you have the harmonious path. This is built on safeguarding your own culture while simultaneously and actively respecting the cultures of others. By choosing this path, we actively eliminate hostility and build a truly unified, peaceful Sri Lankan consciousness. It's a deliberate, conscious choice to respect the diverse tapestry we've explored today. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a provocative question to chew on. What is one piece of cultural heritage that you will pass down to the next generation? Whether it's taking your kids to marvel at an ancient tank or literally just boiling milk in your kitchen, you are actively shaping your nation's future identity. Think about that and let it guide you. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive into Chapter 3. And as always, keep learning.